morning, Azeroth. Broadcasting live from the trade district of Stormwind.
Hey, who rerouted arcane relay through the coffee pot again?
Coffee's done.
Hang on. I think we got it.
This is Azeroth Morning Radio. Warcraft for the rest of us.
And good Tuesday morning. Welcome everybody to Azeroth Morning Radio.
How may I help you?
I feel like you had to really lean into that one for him to speak. Well, welcome to the podcast for the rest, Warcraft for the rest of us here. 9-to-5ers, parents, grandparents, whatever it is, whoever you are welcome here. We are your hosts. My name is Jibs. I'm joined by Cash.
How may I help you?
Hear that lead in? It sounds like he's like 80, like poor Alonzo Fowler sounds like he's been smoking since 1901. He's been just puffing the old cigarettes.
I think I've had a few baristas at Starbucks greet me like that.
I know I had lunch ladies greet me like that. What do you want, the ham or the steak?
Hey, let me see your lunch ticket.
She's like an angry old goblin woman. Hey, what do you want? She's got the violet thing against her neck. What do you want?
With a gobstopper in her neck.
Yeah, it sounds like my ex-wife.
What's going on, buddy? How are you, man?
Oh, I'm good, bud. I tell you, it's been a week. It has been a week. We've been watching everything. I know we're going to talk about this later in the show, but man, we've just been watching the community reaction to patch 12.0.5. Been playing it. We've been doing a lot of that. Been having a great time with my prot warrior, I tell you. And just taking in all the things, really, really pushing. I'll talk more about it later, but ritual sites. Oh man, did I fall in love with those this past week. And you and I got into some delving, which was so much fun. And great week.
Yes, we did. I think we were we did everything this week, right? Mm-hmm. We dabbled in everything this week in the game. Like, the weekly stuff that we had to do, and then all of the new features that came out with 12.0.5, we dove into, and we muddled through some of it, and we crushed other parts of it, which was actually, it was cool. And I think, part of the fun thing about being a content creator is that when this stuff comes out, our show and our responsibility to you to cover these things forces us into trying everything.
Yeah, also forces me to show up for work.
Like, I say it like it's some new thing for us, but it's not. Like when new features come out for a game and we have a show revolving around said game, we test everything out and had a really good time. So I think that maybe that takes the place of the fact that we don't PTR very much, if
never
ever. We don't PTR.
No.
But when it does come out, the final product comes out, we will definitely test that stuff out and talk to you, and maybe even have some tips and tricks for you along the way.
Along the way, for sure. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in here this week on the episode. It's episode 32 here. And I was trying to think if I want to talk about this or not, but I tell you what, we're 32 episodes in. I looked at our Spotify reviews the other day, 91 Spotify reviews on 32 episodes. I was shocked. I'm like, thank you so much, everyone who's tuning in from Spotify, from iTunes. I'm reading recent reviews that you guys are putting there. Just thank you so much. It's very, very happy.
It's very humbling is what it is.
Humbling,
and I think that, when usually people will take the time to leave a review for two reasons. One is if you are terrible and they just want to tell you, like, stop podcasting, like, this is terrible. It's either highly negative or highly positive. And I can't believe the positivity that we are seeing in the reviews that we're getting, in the comments and stuff on YouTube. It is just overwhelmingly positive. It's like a steam game review, right? Overwhelmingly positive. And it brings so much joy to our hearts to see that we are impacting people, and you're leaving the comments because you're having a positive experience listening to our show and interacting with us. And we really do try to interact back in every way that we can, whether it's an email or a comment on YouTube. We try to interact back with every single comment we get. And if we miss you, then we do apologize. It's certainly not planned that way. But yeah, just a huge thank you for the positivity that we are getting back surrounding the show.
Agreed. Couldn't agree more. And thank you again, everyone, for continuing to listen, push and play, and hanging out with us here today. This week on the show, we talk game accessibility for everyone. Blizzard inserts its tail between its legs. Ooh, that was a harsh one. We, quote, vibe check the latest content patch, demystify some of the systems of 12.0.5, and much, much more. Folks, welcome to Azeroth Morning Radio, and it starts right meow.
Are you tired of dainty portions, clean kitchens, and food that respects your health? Yeah! Good. We've got none of that. Woo-hoo! Welcome to the Grease Pit.
Yeah. Step right up. We got stacks, we got sizzle, we got flavors that'll make your taste buds nervous. Try our signature burgers. The Bilgewater Belly Buster, 2 patties, 3 sauces, 1 bad decision. The Undermine Overload, so tall it needs structural support. And the Steam Weedle Sizzler, hot, loud, probably illegal somewhere.
What kind of meat is this?
What kind of meat is it? It's 100% none of your friggin' business. What's in it? Shut up and eat it. We ain't telling you shit.
Visit the Grease Pit, now serving up greatness in Undermine and expanding across all of Azeroth. Next stop, Silvermoon City. Your application lacks ingredient transparency.
Yeah, that's on purpose.
Currently trapped in a maze of elven paperwork, but coming soon, probably against their will. The Grease Pit. Fat don't make you fat, fatheads.
Yeah, we still ain't answering that meat question.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with us today. And you know what time it is?
Hero's Call. Triumphant medieval horn sounds, and you know what it means, friends. It is time for the Hero's Call.
I feel like I'm in a Ren fair whenever that thing goes off. Turkey legs are ready.
Remember that time I told you that I went to the Ren Fair dressed as a ranger and I ran around telling people that there's danger afoot.
There's danger afoot. You sound like Bill Cotton.
Nope, I can't. Nope. Can't
do that one.
Cannot talk about that dude no more.
Can't talk about that one. Nope.
He's done. They canceled him years ago, pal. Can't talk about pudding pops. Can't talk about stand-up comedy.
Pops. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We kind of just did, but screech right up against the line and tip your toe over the other side.
They're smiling. I hear that smile in our listeners.
Oh, I know. Yep. Okay, let's talk Heroes Call board, friends. We got actually a very heartfelt email this week, and I wanted to bring it up. This one coming to us from one of our own patrons and members of our guild. This is Pajamage, and I wanted to read this to you guys, and it brings up some really good points. So here we go. Paja says, "Hey guys, what a hoot. It's been listening to your podcast over the past several months and becoming a patron. I've learned so many things from your podcast, including my favorite, learning to slow down and enjoy the content." Yes, they're listening, Jims. They're listening. I love it. Okay. Darkens it down just a little bit here. I have a disease called ankylosing spondylitis. I practiced that before the damn show.
You sure?
And I screwed it up. Yeah, let's try this again. Ankylosing spondylitis. Okay. And what that is basically, it's an inflammatory disease that causes like chronic pain and reduced flexibility in the joints. So a little background on it. Okay, continuing. And it's been the scourge of my gaming career. I can definitely understand that. Continues, I've been playing WoW since the Burning Crusade, and for as long as I can remember, I have not been able to sit for long periods of time without experiencing pain. For the past many expansions I've stood to play, I envy the streamers who can play long days, and I envy the people who get use out of their nice gaming chairs and setups. When all signs pointed to gaming not being a good option for me, I worked hard to learn ways to make it work. I would do the same thing. I'm telling you, like, that's how much gaming means to me. It's how much playing Warcraft means to me. So I completely understand where he's at here. Your podcast has brought me a lot of peace because I have found new enjoyment from accepting that there is a community that shares casual experiences rather than pushing for meta or best in slot through long hours of grinding. I would love to hear you guys talk about your gaming setups and to open it up for people to share their setups. I'm curious to what people's favorite part of is sitting down or standing at their gaming stations may be. With 2 kids, 1 and 3. Oh, buddy, you're in the trenches. With 2 kids, 1 and 3, I feel like Tony Stark when I boot up my PC after 8 p.m. for an hour or two of play, and I feel like I'm catching up with friends when I peruse the AMR Discord. Very, very cool. Continues, many WoW friends have come and gone. Could you do a shout out to my only remaining WoW friend, Farmer Nastylock? I think he's sick of me talking about things mentioned on Azeroth Morning Radio. Sincerely, Pajamage or Pajamunk. And we won't reveal his Discord name. But anyway, so first off, a shout out to Farmer Nastylock, which is a fantastic name. I assume that this person is a warlock, and I love it. And before we get into the topic that we were going to discuss based off of this email, I did want to give big love to Pajamage for, first of all, sharing the email and sharing your struggles with us. So tons of healing vibes and love coming your way.
Agreed.
Thank you very much for that.
Agreed.
So we're going to talk about gaming setups, but this one really kind of pushed me in the direction of mentioning the fact that World of Warcraft has become much more accessible to people with disabilities, people with chronic pain, people that don't have the ability to sit for long periods of time and play the game. And this is one of the reasons that I love the game, is because of the accessibility. So you look at things like the single button assist, the customization of the UI and how much that has changed, the skill assist, if you prefer it a little bit more complicated, the visual accessibility. So there's colorblind mode, there's subtitles that have been added, there's audio cues that have been added, there's controller support that's been added. And then one of my favorite ones I love telling the story, and people talk about games and gaming and World of Warcraft and stuff like that. I love talking about how the developers have put it in arachnophobia mode. I just think that is one of the coolest niche things that have been put into the game that just bring some love to people who can't play the game, no matter what percentage of player out there that it is, because they have a fear of spiders. And you completely change that in World of Warcraft. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I was looking up the rough percentage of how many people, like global population, suffer from arachnophobia. It says approximately 3 to 15%. I'm just like, that's a lot of folks. If you consider global numbers, that's a lot.
Dude, my daughter would be so proud of me. I'm low key blown away.
Oh, you have so much riz, bro. I don't know what that means.
The first time she said that, I was like, Loki, like from the Marvel movies?
Yeah, with the horns?
With the horns? you know what I mean? Big green guy, smacked him around? She's like, no, that's not what it means, dork. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just, the accessibility that Blizzard has made World of Warcraft and a lot of their games, it does show their love for the community and just for opening their games up to a wider audience. And I think that's a wonderful thing. And to pigtail right off of that, there are communities out there that 100% cater to people that have disabilities in their lives. But they still want to connect with people. They still want to do content. And probably one of the biggest ones out there is the Undaunted Guild.
Oh, yeah.
Which is incredible.
Yep.
And there's actually a video on the Undaunted Guild that is out there for you to see, like, what they do and the impact that guild being, completely open to. And it's mostly deaf people, I believe, but I know that there's people with all kinds of disabilities that are members of Undaunted. And if you were to do a guild search in game, you would find several guilds out there that cater to folks with disabilities. And I think it's an amazing thing. Then there's other game systems like Able Gamers, Special Effect, which actually it's a company that makes custom control solutions for players with physical limitations. And it's an amazing thing that this kind of stuff is out there, that there's other guilds out there that are catering to these people. And I love it. And Pajamage, I'm sorry, but you're not allowed to go to any of these other guilds. You're ours. So
that's right. You can't leave.
We're keeping you forever. Yeah. Consider yourself rooted. You're now rooted.
Consider yourself taken.
That's right. But anyway, your email brought this level of stuff to the forefront for us. And we really did want to talk about it. And another thing that we do want to say is that there may be people out there that feel that you have limitations, but there are zero limitations to the love and support that is available for players out there of all kinds. That, like, doesn't matter what you're into, doesn't matter what you're dealing with or what you're struggling through. There is a community for you out there. You just have to take the time to look.
That's right. That's right. Warcraft can be so many things for so many different people. And that includes accessibility, from a gameplay standpoint. And that is why I think it is still to this day the most accessible MMO that's out there. The most established, most accessible MMO that's out there. And, I think that's, I think you said it perfectly, And yes, you can't leave the guild.
Nope. Rooted. Okay. So the last thing we got to do here is that we're opening it up to everybody to share your setup. Like, for sure. Yeah. We're going to virtually share our setup right now with you, but
we've never done this.
If you're in our Discord, take a picture of it. If you're proud of it, if you're not proud of it, show us your setup. Like, we're really looking to see stuff like that. And we're going to do the same. And then if you're watching, or if you're listening or watching on YouTube, then you can share your setup in our comments as well. So I'm going to go first.
Okay.
My current setup is I'm rocking an Alienware, the Aurora R15, which this is, I think, my third one.
Yeah.
And it's a pre-built Alienware, and this freaking computer series has been fantastic for me. It's worked very, very well. I have a Razer Black Widow keyboard. My headphones that I have on right now, which you can't see, are Rode headphones, and Jibs and I are both rocking Rode headphones.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, there's no attachment on these ones actually there is for a mic, huh?
Yeah, we didn't get the one with the mic. Just because we don't need it, but they do offer it.
Yeah, we don't need it because we're using a separate microphone. But I'll tell you what, I had some issues with my old one, and we immediately bought a new one. Like, both of us did. Like, I don't know, it was weird. Like, it almost had a shelf life to it, but it did last a long time.
Yeah.
And we went right back to it because it's a very, very comfortable headset. Okay, anyway, I'm not getting stuck on that. My soundboard and Jibs are rocking the same thing, but Rodecaster Pro 2 is what we use for our soundboard here. I'm sitting in a Logitech Herman Miller gaming chair, which is hands down the best gaming chair I've ever had. Very comfortable on my butt. And a few years ago, I actually built an articulating desk, which was made for me to be able to use it to stand up. But I quickly found out that in order to do that, I won't be able to have cable management underneath. Like, you can't secure all your cables and then raise your desk. That becomes a bit of a problem. So it's now a sit-down desk, but I literally bought the legs for this desk on Amazon. They're articulating. And then my desktop is actually a piece of butcher block like you would see in a kitchen for a chef. I bought 2 large pieces of that from Home Depot and I just put it together. And it's like the best gaming desk I've ever had.
Yeah, I love
100%
that.
love it. Anyway, I got a bunch of other little peripherals and stuff, but for the most part, that's my setup.
Yeah, I love it. Mine's a custom build. It's 2.5 years old. I have an AMD Ryzen 9 with NVIDIA 4090, LG 45 curve, just like Cash. And I do have I have one monitor up above it and another OLED off to my left. I use a Royal Kludge 98% keyboard, and I put custom keycaps in it. For those of you who like Thok keyboards, THOCK, you know what I'm talking about. It's incredibly satisfying and quiet. And I use a HyperX wrist rest, which is has a kind of a cooling agent to it, so it keeps your wrist comfy and cold and enjoyable. And then same like Cash said, I use Rode headphones and Rodecaster Pro 2, and then I use a Canon EOS camera for my cam.
Oh, I forgot about my camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm using the crap, what is it?
You have a Razer.
It's their whatever their HD camera is. They have so many damn names for other things.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yep.
Anyway.
And that's
You know
it.
what I mean. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I actually forgot about my screen too. Everything, we pretty much have the same setup.
Yeah.
Only I have another one above.
Yeah.
Is that what you said? You have one above?
I have a 30-inch above, yeah, but that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I got above too.
All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for that email. And it's that time for the news.
Breaking news. Brought to all of yous by the Goblin News Network.
So, folks, Blizzard shares a message with players regarding the 12.0.5 launch. This coming to us from wowhead.com. Now, I want to preface this by saying this. We had to record very early in the week, so if there's any major news developments and we did not cover it, that is why. As of this time, this is the biggest news and something that we definitely felt we had not had to, but needed to discuss here on the show. So the launch of 12.0.5 was met with many bugs, resulting in an uproar from the community and creators alike. Blizzard took to social media and their website and addressed it with the following. Quote, the 12.0.5 patch launch, was not up to our standards, and we know this disrupted your time and caused justified frustration. The team has been working around the clock since launch to stabilize the game and fix the biggest issues players were hitting right away. The team is taking lessons learned from this launch to help ensure this doesn't happen again. We will also work harder to communicate openly, early and often when a launch doesn't go as expected. The known issues we're working on, fixes as they roll out, and any other information that would be useful to our community as problems are worked on and solved. We care deeply about this game. We play it right alongside you. We will do better. Thanks for sticking with us. The World of Warcraft team, end quote. So we're going to give our first impressions of 12.0.5 and Snark, and that's going to be probably the majority of this show. But this was something that definitely came out and needed to be discussed. We saw community members, we saw content creators, some, to be honest, taking advantage of it with their thumbnails and the things that the doom and gloom. We've seen.
What?
I know.
Are you saying that there's clickbaity thumbnails out there? Come on.
I mean, it's just like the end of the world's here. Everything's the end. It's over. That's it. That's it. Thanks for listening, Mark.
Yeah. Right. Dude, I'm going to throw it out there. Like, you are very good about beating around the bush. Again, this is one of the situations where there's a line and sometimes you just dip your foot over the other side and see what happens. I don't think anything bad's going to come out of this comment, but I mean, you know that I watch Bellular. I love watching Bellular's videos. Very good takes on all kinds of things. Definitely has his finger on the pulse. Him and his team, just fantastic coverage of World of Warcraft. But man, was he pissed about this one, dude. He was so mad. And I mean, okay, so Bellular obviously is a very high level player. Has been doing this for a long, long time. Has much more history with covering World of Warcraft than we do. So this isn't trying to come out as judgy or anything like that at all. It's literally he had one of the best videos on covering what actually happened in the past week. And in a lot of aspects, you really can't argue with the stuff that was going on. So part of his video, it covers some of the stuff that was going on. And I was really going through it in my head, like, well, wait a minute, like, did I have a bad experience over the past week? Where is all this coming from? And as I watched Bellular's video and I started going through and paying attention to some of these things he was listing did happen, he was right. Like, we did experience some of this stuff. So I'm going to go through some of these bullet points here real quick. So the new myth achievement for Mythics was actually ended up being disabled. And this is the new mount that you get for the rating of over 3,400. I remember one of our friends talking about this. So that got disabled because they had an issue with that. I would imagine anyone who was trying to click on certain things in the game was experiencing that freaking absolutely nuts Lua error that was going on. Mm-hmm. That was nuts. That was the major thing that I experienced, was the Lua error spam that was happening on your screen. Well, apparently that was happening to a bunch of people in the middle of raids when they were trying to click on clickables that they needed in the middle of a fight to survive. So 100% understand the frustration there. If you ran the Delve, the Shadow Enclave, there's a mirror in there that if you clicked on it, picked it up, it completely broke strafing until you relogged. That is another thing that I heard of. I did not experience because I didn't run Shadow Enclave last week. There were raid boss phases that were bugged. The Void Core bonus rolls were big time exploitable for a while. Housing got turned off because of a bug, like a big bug. Class abilities for a whole bunch of classes like became buffed or unbuffed, buffed or nerfed, which changed a lot of things for raiders who were expecting a certain amount of DPS. It was not happening. PvP got plagued with a bunch of disconnects. I also didn't run into that one either, but apparently a bunch of people did. There's a couple of them that were like not that big of a deal, but like the hide art function, that hides the little griffins on the side of your ability bars. Mm-hmm. That wasn't working correctly. Like it just like started randomly showing up. Decor Duels, which you and I both dove into quite a bit this week. Apparently the track humanoids was working.
That one's funny.
That's actually hilarious because it's a hide and seek game. And
it's like using the Game Shark back in early 2000s on your PlayStation. Like, we're going to turn on track humanoids.
Well, okay. So just quick question. If you noticed this exploit, would you have utilized it?
No.
I don't think I would have either. And it's probably because, I don't know. I think we're lawful good, dude. I really do. I think that it would have been like, oh my God, I actually found a bug. We need to report this.
Yeah, it would have been reported.
I think that's how it would have been.
It would have been reported and I wouldn't have done it because the whole point of the game is hide and seek. Yeah. It's no different when you find an exploit in an RPG to get infinite gold. It's like, well, part of the journey is getting that gold when you're leveling up your character in that RPG. So it's just like, why would you spoil that for yourself?
Right. Lawful good. That's why you wouldn't spoil that for yourself. Anyway, okay. And then the Void Assaults, which this one actually made a lot of sense because we didn't notice this either. Or maybe we did, or maybe you did anyway. But the Void Assaults were not working correctly on that first day. The Void Incursions weren't even showing up.
I did notice that. I thought
maybe you noticed it. I didn't notice that.
Well, I thought it was part of the feature. Like I thought, oh, maybe they only pop up every now and then, like because we had talked about it leading up to the launch, how stuff done in the game will affect, some of the content. And so I'm like, okay, well, maybe players just, haven't done that thing yet or what have you. But apparently it was a bug.
Yeah. So, okay, well, let me ask you this. Like some of these were annoying, right? The Lua error was pretty annoying. Mm-hmm. Did it make you log off? Did it break your game?
It broke that Shadow Enclave Delve for me when I couldn't strafe. But
but did you rage quit?
No, I finished the Delve and I reloaded, logged back in, and carried on my way.
Right. And that's kind of my point. And again, it's not to take anything away from any content creators that went nuts over this thing and went nuts over what it has been issues with prior patches not coming out like silky smooth. And I guess that's where this is the part where we inject our opinions on this whole thing. And 100% there were bugs that were annoying and showed up, and for some were game breaking. None of these ended up being game breaking for me. And I don't know if it's just over the years I just don't let stuff like this get to me anymore. It's funny because this reminds me of a book I read a few years back. Don't worry, I won't cuss, but it's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F is basically what this book is. And it's written by Mark Manson, and it is a very entertaining book. And I actually listened to it on Audible. It's super entertaining on Audible. But it literally is like you can't, some of these things like in life you just can't control. So why are you giving an F about it? Just let it go and just move on. And I think with gaming, with a lot of this stuff, it has become that for me. And I'm not saying that I'm completely unfazed by these things, because yeah, some of these things can be very annoying. In particular, like the Lua error spam was annoying, but it was like oh my God, it's back. And then you get out of whatever you're doing, get out of combat, and you try and figure out what it was that's doing that. And if it's either an add-on or it's systemic. Well, then you see that it's coming from your Blizzard files, and you're like, oh, that's on their end. So you're like, well, I'm sure it'll get fixed. And there were a bunch of little hot patches throughout the week.
Yep.
Live patches and hot fixes throughout the week. So I don't know. There's a lot of very spirited talk, and like this is what's gonna kill WoW and all this stuff. And if they continue to let patches come out like this, and there's just a lot of vitriol out there. And man, I just take a step back and just go, take a deep breath, get outside, just go touch some grass, bro. Everything's gonna be fine. I'm sure they didn't want it to happen either. They put this message out to the community, and like there's a part in here that kind of made me chuckle a little bit, where it talks about appreciate your passion or something like that. You know exactly what they mean, because people were flaming the crap out of them on the forums. And I don't know, I tend to just fall back on the fact that they have a very, very hard job, and not everything is always going to go to plan. Just give them a little space.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely, I agree with what you're saying. I'm of the opinion that of the grand scheme of things that I have to care about over the course of a week, this was probably the lowest on my radar. If on my radar, literally at all. Yes, I experienced some of these bugs. I didn't experience all of them, but I experienced some of them. And I just chose to adapt and deal with it if I couldn't get rid of it. And it was what it was, I'm in agreement. Like, no dev that works for Blizzard wants this to come out like that. It happened. We can all recognize it happened, and now we move forward, right? It is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and flame any Blizzard development team. I'm not going to call anybody out. That's ridiculous and incredibly unprofessional, in my opinion. I believe that any dev who cares about their product, and Blizzard does, that no, they don't want to launch like this. So I'm of the opinion, adapt, overcome, be positive, because things will get fixed. And you know what? The majority of players probably did. They probably were a lot of you listeners that are listening right now, and Cash and I. We just kept playing. But you know what? We're not the vocal, like the 100, the 90% or that super vocal, whatever that ratio is. We just play and enjoy it, and enjoy it for what it is. So that's my take on it. Yeah.
You know what I think about? We're kind of covering both sides of it, right? But we are 100% the dumb casuals, just like, it's fine. It's not a big deal. I'll click on the little X on the Lua thing, and I'll just keep playing my game. And then the other side of it, dude, you have the 1%ers who are racing to get stuff done. They're depending on their DPS. They're min-maxing everything. So it's like, this is just where we sit on the issue, but we're not like completely blind to why people are pissed about it.
I get it.
We understand.
Yeah.
We just we do it a little different. It's what I'm trying to say. We just do a little different.
Man.
We're dumb casuals.
Just a little different. Yeah. But anyway, folks, this is, again, this came to us from wowhide.com. And now it's at time to talk our first impressions. Our first impressions. I feel like I have to say it that way. It was with everything else that came out this past week we saw. Our first impressions of patch 12.0.5. Here we go.
Snark Online.
I picture Eddie from Christmas Vacation out there in the front, emptying the crapper from his RV. The crapper was full! Sitting there just with the stogie.
That's not what he says.
I know it's not what he says. I can't say what he says.
That's not what he says.
I know.
Yeah. I picture Snark eating at a roach coach last night.
Oh, man. You know what we should do? We should, just for fun, go on ChatGPT, give it this bumper, and say, create an image of a person based off this bumper. What would that look like?
That's actually a brilliant idea.
That'd be hilarious. Maybe we'll put it on social media. Anyway, Snark.
Yeah. Snark is in effect. And this week, friends, the Snark segment that was popped out is called The Vibe Check, because we are going to find out our feelings on 12.0.5. Actually, the aspects. We're not like talking the overall, like what happened? There was so many bugs. It was awful. It caused me to hit the log off button several times. Yeah, not so much. We played the crap out of it, friends, and we want to talk about all of the things. And I think what we're going to start with are void assaults. Jibs?
Yeah, buddy. I tell you, I will say this, of all the things that were patch 12.0.5, void assaults, I personally found to be, for myself, probably the least engaging, or the least, what's the right word? Not recurring gameplay, but it's not going to be something I will do a lot of. It'll probably be the thing I do the least of for 12.0.5, believe it or not. But they were fun. You know, first stage and the third stage, those seem to go by really quick. I don't know what happened in stage 2 with a lot of the ones we were involved in, but it seemed like the pacing slowed way down. And outside of that, though, they're fun. You know, they kind of, you and I were talking, they remind us of dolmens from the Elder Scrolls Online in a way.
Dolmens.
Oh, if you know, you know.
If you played Elder Scrolls Online, you know that sound. Bro, I'm gonna tend to agree with you on this. And you know why I didn't really think about it at all until we started getting it into note format to cover for the peeps. Mm-hmm. Because I will say this. I didn't really think about it until it was in note form. But then as I did think about it, I realized that we did way more of all the other things throughout the week.
Yeah.
We avoided these.
Yeah.
And if they were, at a very basic level, if these were really a lot of fun, we would have done them once or twice, which we did, and been like, I want to do more of those. But we didn't. We ended up doing the void incursions way more. And I think the reason for those, we did the ritual sites. I apologize. We did the ritual sites way more. Mm-hmm. I think the reason that we stayed away from the void strikes and incursions is because we had less control over them. That's personally how I feel. It was just a bunch of players, hitting all these different objectives.
Yeah.
And they're doing them people were just spamming it basically. And just, it's just like a horde of people in there getting all these achievements done. And we had a lot less control over it as players or as a group, whether we were doing it solo or doing it as a group of just, me and Jibs or other friends with us. Whereas the ritual sites, which I know we're going to talk about, you have way more control over your pulls, over the objectives that you had to do. And to me, it was much more like a delve or a dungeon. And I guess that's just kind of the gameplay that I gravitate to. Definitely.
And also with the ritual sites, it feels like there's a lot more at stake, when you are in there. Void assaults are great just to hang out with your friends in Discord, run some void assaults, right? It's kind of, in a way, this sounds negative. I don't mean it that way, but it's kind of mindless fun in a way. Like you're just chilling out doing your thing, and that's fun. That can be fun for a lot of people. And for me, it's fun to a certain extent. because when you get into a ritual site, which I know we're going to get ready to talk about here, the weight of your actions, whether it's success or failure, is so much higher. And I'll be honest with you, it even reminds me a little bit of Torghast. I still to this day believe in the Torghast system. I think it's a great system. But
I believe in you.
I believe in you. But, take all the borrowed power out of it. I think it was a great idea. And I see a little bit of Torghast here. And yeah, very delvey, very dungeony with a ritual site. So it's just a completely different, it's like apples to oranges, right? Like it's a completely different experience. Nothing wrong with Void Assaults. I just felt as though they'll probably be the thing I do the least of.
I am right there with you. I really am. And it's kind of funny because it's rare that you and I are like on two completely different pages with stuff. So yeah, I'm watching your lips move and I'm like, yep, I totally agree with everything you're saying about these. I got no retort, dude. The ritual sites, on the other hand,
yeah,
that was something, and I think this was very funny, but my progression solo was the same exact pace as your progression solo. And we were like playing at different times. And then we did a couple of them together, a couple of the lower level ones just to try them out. And then I remember hopping onto Discord and you were on Discord and you're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, dude, I'm running a ritual site with all the affixes. And you were like, that's exactly what I'm doing. And I was like, oh my God, how's it going for you? Like, it's definitely interesting. But we progressed through, I think for the most part, we progressed through all of the tiers up to tier 5 together. And then once we reached our tier 5, we ended up we logged off or whatever. And we ended up soloing tier 5 on our own. And I did tier 5 with 4 affixes. And then I ended up I was like, well, I wonder how many affixes you could put on this. Mm-hmm. So at tier 5, I just started clicking buttons and all 8 affixes went on and I went, okay, F it. Let's let's roll these dice, baby. And let's just see how it goes. And I was able to get through it. I mean, it was slow and I had to very strategically pick stuff. And the fights were very annoying. I will say that much with all the affixes, especially I was running it in Guardian on my Druid. So, as a tank, when you don't have all the deeps and you're by yourself, you got to really pick your stuff and you got to do all kinds of stuff to keep yourself alive. But I was able to get through tier 5 with all 8 affixes in one shot.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, I did the same thing on my Prot Warrior and I was like 231 item level. It recommends 267. And so I was still able to complete it though. I'm like, gee whiz, if that doesn't tell you something about the state of tanks in this game, I don't know what does, because that should not have happened. But I loved every second of it. I loved being able to complete it. It was a challenge. It still is a challenge. Because you're exactly right. You're just like, you know what? Screw it. Let's go for it. Let's see what happens. And 45 minutes, I want to say it's 45 minutes to an hour later. It's like, it's done. It's just like, wow, I can't believe, you achieve that thing. And then you're like, oh my gosh, that's giving me a 269 item level piece from the vault. I'm just like through the moon stoked about it. And so I love ritual sites because it's a perfect representation of World of Warcraft. Here's why. You can make them as easy or as hard as you want to make it. And that is what World of Warcraft is to so many players like myself and you, that you can go in there and chill, or you can go hog wild and enable everything and try to do something that you should not even be trying to do, And so I love them. I think they're great. Now, I will admit I only did Dagger Spine Point, mainly because I had no idea this entire time there was also one in Zolomon. So I'll have to do that because I want those achievements.
Yeah, there's this week, bro.
Yeah, that's what's going to be.
Do it.
Yep, that's what's going to be happening this week. I did have some tips though for ritual sites that I picked up on when I was in there, and I tell you, if there's ever a time I'm thankful I'm playing a tank, it's now because it just makes it very enjoyable. Slower, yes, but very enjoyable. So there's some tips, some things may not realize. Now, this is all based off of Dagger Spine Point. And this was just my experience. So first thing I noticed, mobs will not respawn. So you don't have to worry about mobs spawning behind you or around you. You can just relax. And you can pull these mobs far away without losing the aggro. You can pull them so far. 9 times out of 10, I'm moving that boss wherever I want them to go, which oftentimes is every bit of 50 feet away from where they were. I want to put them in a place where this fight is in my favor. I do that all the time. Highly recommend it. On that note, when you are doing these challenges and you're enabling these extra, what were they called? Not challenges. Is it challenges?
I just called them affixes.
Affixes?
Yeah, it's very similar to like mythic affixes.
Yeah. So as you're enabling these affixes, you're going to have a lot of different abilities going off at certain times. Prioritize your stuns for the things that you know you need stuns for. Now, you can get away with a lot more things dependent upon your class choice. Like as a warrior, I have, 3 stuns, a fear, and a interrupt. You just have a lot of options. So, but discover what works and what doesn't. Most of the time, stuns do not work for bosses. So you have to use your interrupt. So prioritize your stuns or your interrupts based off of the abilities you really need to interrupt. For instance, that giant AoE with the troll Cyclops comes in, he goes, a massive purple circle of death. That's something that which you can actually stun him or you can interrupt him. So just make sure that you're prioritizing your stuns or your interrupts. Next, pay attention to the ground. So with Dagger Spine Point, there is a ton of water. So one thing that I have found that makes it incredibly helpful on a lot of these boss fights is it becomes like a Diablo point of view for me with camera. I zoom as far out as I can that's comfortable, and I look straight up and down, because what's going to happen is it's going to allow you to see the small AoEs that will just, number one, stun you and can kill you within seconds if you're not careful. So it's going to allow you to see those a little bit better. Plus, make sure you're paying attention to the ground, because health orbs are going to spawn. So you can get those health orbs and it'll help you out, and you'll have no problem there. And then finally, this goes without saying, and a ton of people do this already in delves, dungeons, whatever. Use recuperate as needed for free health. You're going to be able to get your health back up, especially if you're low on pots or low on food, whatever it is. Just use recuperate as much as you can. And that's what stood out to me with the ritual sites, particularly Dagger Spine Point. So
I didn't even like pre-read through your tips, but these are 100% on point. And I love that we can agree on these, because we both went through the same tier 5 with all the freaking affixes on there, which were a lot of fun. But it's funny, some of like the ground AoE stuff that you're bringing up, and I am not a tank. I dabble in my Guardian spec just to get through content at times. As you know, I play Resto Druid. So I have that ability to do that, which is why I love the damn Druid so much. I just pop into Guardian spec, and I'm still learning the tanking thing for myself. But you're 100% right. Like those things on the ground, you have to save certain abilities for certain times. It's the same thing with Prey. Like there's times when something will pop up and you have to save an ability for when that pops up. Otherwise you go and die.
Right.
So I love this, but again, to me, this does remind me of delves. And I really do like to have more control over being able to pull what I need to pull. And I actually was able to, I'm going to pull a couple of these things from you and try them myself. Like, pull the damn boss away from everything, because on some of these affixes in the ritual sites, there are patrols, and they may not be there when you pull the boss, but there's like long patrol routes, and they are going to pop up right in the middle of your long boss fight. So pull that damn boss way far away, so you don't have to worry about those additional patrols aggroing you, and now all of a sudden you have way more problems. So yeah, well done, dude. Those are very good tips.
Thank you. Next up, we have Decor Duels. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I love Decor Duels. I don't know if it's the thrill, like the 5-year-old in me thrill of playing hide and seek, but I love it.
Like a kindergartner just giggling in your hiding spot.
See me.
Oh, yeah. So Decor Duels, ton of fun. For those who haven't done it, it is exactly what it sounds like. If you ever played Call of Duty and you can change the, change into some kind of item on the level that you're on, it's the exact same thing. So if you are a seeker, you pick a class. In my case, I play a Spellbreaker a lot because it has a fun AoE jump ability. And basically your whole goal is to find these people, right? So through using these abilities, you'll reveal them and then you slap them. And I'll tell you, the slap noise, I can't get this out of my head. And I've told you this 500 times. Every time I hear that whip, I'm just like, I can't help but see a dude getting whipped with a towel, butt naked in a locker room after like a game or something. They're like a I don't know, the sauna, whatever it is, just like a whip. I'm just like, every time I'm like, ow.
Wait, what? I have so many comments right now. So many comments that you immediately went to a
movies,
naked dude.
like you get, I did it to people in middle school, just whip, like.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Hey, yeah, that's the kind of thing you don't share out loud, pal.
100%.
I can't get that image out of my head. I hear it every time. I'm just like, ow.
I know. And I love the fact that we've forever memorialized that you went straight to a naked dude. I love it. That's it. I'm not saying any more about it. Sometimes you open a door and sometimes your buddy's going to walk right through it.
Sometimes you don't walk through, you demolish it on your way through.
I saw no danger. I took the shot.
And I regret nothing. The end. Oh, gosh. Anyway, they're a ton of fun. Honestly, I love hiding. I love, and here's a quick tip with these, by the way. Hiding in plain sight sometimes is the best thing to do. I hid in plain sight, and I was a brazier, a flame that was lit, plain sight, right next to a stick where you would normally see one. No one ever saw me until the very end when I had to sprint, and they see this thing sliding across the floor. But yeah, ton of fun.
I agree with you. I do enjoy these. We did a bunch of them together. Like we were spamming the group finder on this one. And they are a lot more fun. I remember I was a little wonky on how it was going to go. I was like, I'm just going to have to play this and see how it goes. And I ended up playing it, and I knew I was going to like it. I thought maybe right off the bat that the spammable that you have, it's like an AoE spammable ability that you get when you are seeking.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the cooldown was way too short right off the bat. So like you're saying, hiding in plain sight as something that looks like it should be there, like that's a strategy. But I thought that, man, maybe this spammable is the cooldown is too short. People can really just like run around and spam it. Bam, bam, bam. So you can like paint the map basically and overlap this spam to try and just cover a large part of the map and find anything that's hiding.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I didn't explain that very well, but that's really how the mechanic works. But it really, I think the cooldown is perfect on it because it's still very difficult to find people.
Oh, it is.
It's a large map. It's hard to find people. So it's not too bad when you're spamming.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I explained that terribly.
No, you did fine. I really, I enjoy it. I think it's a great system. I hope it's something that they do more of in the future with the next patches. Like I hope that there are new maps for it. I would love to see what this looks like in something like in Duskwood, right there at the town square where everyone's at, and it's all kind of focused around this general area. Just like little stuff like that. Like take areas that we've already loved so much of in World of Warcraft, like Stormwind or Orgrimmar or wherever, and make a map out of it for Decor Duels. I would love that. It would just be so much fun.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think it would be really, really neat. I've learned a lot by watching you play this particular game mode because you're really good at it.
Oh, thank you.
And yeah, you're like a little sleuth in some of the places that you were hiding and stuff. And I'm not going to reveal any of your main spots because I think they're brilliant. And I default to you, like to learn this stuff. It's been really, really fun. But
well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm all about this mode as well. I would love to see this one expanded, which I think brings us into the next one for 12.0.5. And this one I'm kind of not completely sold on yet, but it is growing on me because I'm playing a ton of it. And that's the Abyss Anglers. This is the mode where you find it off the coast of Zulamon and you get to go spearfishing. It's pretty fun. It's basically rounds, like you queue up for it, but you're going in there solo, and you start off with a very rudimentary set of diving gear, and you basically have to spear all kinds of different fish, and there's all kinds of different things that you can do on each dive. Your dives are limited because you have a certain amount of air that you can use, and there are some air pockets that you can go find underwater that will expand the amount of time. They'll basically expand your air tank a little bit for you. But this is all achievement based. So you need to hit all kinds of different achievements in order to make yourself eligible to purchase upgrades for your diving gear, which will in turn make you more accurate when you use your spear, will give you the ability to live a little bit longer underwater, and it basically buffs up your diving gear so you can spend more time underwater and push further and further and deeper into the trenches where you're hunting. So I like the theory of this, and I like the design of it. It takes a little bit of getting used to with, shooting your spears, and some of the fish that you have down there have like different armor levels, and you have to just tick away at those armor levels in order to make them available to capture them. So it's neat. It's a really neat little system. It is definitely grindy. So if you hate a grind, this one might not be for you, but like there was one that I had to do in order to unlock the next level of gear that I could buy, and I just finished it up this morning. I don't remember the name of it, but I had to spear 500 fish, and I finished this one up this morning. And again, like, this is going to take you multiple dives in order to complete it, but I really kind of like the system. I'd like to see the rewards be a little bit better to attract people to the system.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. How much of this have you dove into? Dived? Not
as much as I would like. I definitely want to do more of this. I'm going to be honest with you. Most of my time this week, it was legitimately ritual sites and decor duels. Tried, void assaults. Have my eyes on the angler system, because it's definitely anything that's fishing related. I always find myself diving into, and so I haven't done as much as I would like to this past week. But I'm with you. I definitely would like to see some of the rewards increase just a little bit. So again, like you said, it's more inviting for the general audience. Like, people want to do it more. They feel more incentivized to do that thing. But I definitely think striking that balance is important. So yeah, I would definitely like to see the rewards up just a little bit more. But it's definitely something that I want to grind out, regardless of the rewards, because it's just like, it's the same thing with Decor Duels, right? You just want to get all the things.
Yeah, give this one a go this week, and let me know. I'd be interested to get your take on it, whether or not you think the juice is worth the squeeze on the grind versus the things that are available for you. There are some really cool things. Don't get me wrong. It's like there's some really cool transmog that is available for you. There's some housing items and stuff that are in there and available for you. There was one that I'm still not completely sold on, and it was, I think I had to grind out a bunch of stuff to get it, but it was a quest that you could take, And I think that quest unlocked the ability to further open up your Loa blessing board.
Oh,
yeah. And like it gave me like water walking.
I missed that one.
You know, if you end up like basically so like a tribute to that Loa for the week or whatever, or that at that particular time you get water walking. I'm like, dude, I'm a druid. I ain't need no water walking.
I'm a whale, bro.
So that's right.
Oh, that's a dolphin.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to soundbite that. Jeez. All right, friends. Last thing that we do want to cover in here is something that has been very confusing to a lot of people. So we wanted to bring a little bit of clarity to this particular aspect of 12.0.5. And this is the Voidforge taking place in Voidstorm. Yeah, a lot of confusion. So we heard a lot. There was a lot of people. We had a guild event over the weekend, which was fantastically fun, by the way.
That was good.
We had a bunch of people show up. We were running dungeons and delves and stuff, and it was really a lot of fun. And we kicked it off with some poker, which was pretty cool. Online poker is a lot of fun. Anyway, and do it in Discord because they have it was a fantastic poker system in Discord.
Oh, it was fun.
Okay, I digress. This system of the Voidforge is confusing. And a lot of people were like, I don't even know how this works. So it prompted us to like put a guide in place. So anyway, this is a new system that is going to allow you to have some bonus roll tokens. And basically what it does is it allows you increased chances and increased probability of getting the gear that you want out of the content that you're running. So in order to do it, everybody knows Decimus. If you've gone through the storyline, Decimus is located in Voidstorm. And am I saying that right? Is it Voidstorm? Is that the
Voidstorm? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm getting the zone right. Anyway, he has a weekly quest for you to unlock the Voidforge. And essentially what you're doing is, it's been available for the last 5 weeks. Essentially what you're doing is you're running Bountiful Delves, raid bosses, Mythic Plus dungeons. And if you have not taken this quest yet, it's really easy to find. Just open up the map. It's the big giant purple quest icon. It's that one, the little triangle one. So go grab it from Decimus. And you will have to basically do bosses, Mythic Plus dungeons, or Bountiful Delves. And then you'll get void cores to turn in. And you eventually you're going to end up, once you've done all of them, it's going to open up these nebulous void cores for you, which are reroll tokens. And you're going to spend those in dungeons or raids to get mythic level loot. So, like, I think right now I have lagged on them. So I think I'm at 4 out of 6. So if you haven't done anything, you're going to have to do like 18 things to get completely caught up. So you would basically take the quest. Once you unlock the quest room, you take the quest. You'll do 3 of these events and turn in the 3 and then get the quest again and you'll get another 3. So you have to do like 3 Bountiful Delves, kill 3 raid bosses, do 3 Mythic Plus dungeons, and you'll get these items and you can turn them into him. And you will further progress this all the way to week 6 out of 6. And then it's going to open up these nebulous void cores for you, which are the reroll tokens that you can use to get the items that you want. Now, if you do use the nebulous void cores to reroll on an item that you get, it is going to remove that item from the loot table. So basically, you're not going to double up on it. If you use another void core at another time in the same dungeon, you're not going to get the same exact item on that roll. It like removes it from the loot table for you, so you don't have to like run into that issue. And that, I think that's like the nuts and bolts of that system. And in the future, there's going to be another type that becomes available. Those are called Ascendant Void Cores. Those will be available to increase the item level of something that you have fully upgraded in the myth or hero track. And those are going to be available, as of this recording, they'll be available in like another 3 weeks. So, important thing to remember, this is Warband wide. So that's a plus. If you, we already talked about the loot table, so that's good. And here's another thing. You can also use these reroll tokens in Nightmare Prey. So that's a plus. Tier 8 Bountiful Delves or higher, you can use them in. And then anything from normal to mythic raids and mythic plus dungeons, you can use these reroll tokens to kind of target the items that you want. So don't just willy-nilly use them. Take a look and see what might be best in slot for your character and your spec, and target some items. Go do those events, and when it's time to roll, you'd use one of these things and you get a reroll and get a really good chance of getting the item that you're looking for. So that's it on the Void Cores, and I hope that clears it up, because it was a little bit confusing on the Void Core system.
I love it. Yeah, when you said you have to do 18 quests, 100% me. I'll out myself. I didn't touch this at all. I need to touch this. I haven't done it. I need to do it. And now I have 18 quests. That's all right, though. We'll jump in.
Yeah. I mean, you got a while.
It's true. It's true.
It doesn't seem like the season still just started.
Yeah. It really does kind of feel that way.
Yeah, what week are we in? Is this week 4, 5?
Is it already 5? No way, it's 5.
I think it's already 5.
Holy cow. Man, I really do got to get into that. Okay. All right, well, folks, move into the lore lesson. We'll be right back to close out the show.
At last, the work was done. Azeroth had been shaped, healed, and set upon its path. The world soul slumbered safely beneath the surface, and the keepers stood ready to guard it.
We must safeguard the land.
High above the world, the Pantheon looked upon their creation and found it worthy. Satisfied that Azeroth was in capable hands, the Titans prepared to depart. Their discovery of this world had proven something profound. They were not alone in the cosmos. Other world souls were out there, waiting to be found. And so the Pantheon would continue their great search across the Great Dark. Below, the Keepers watched their creators leave. There was pride, but also sorrow. They had been given a sacred charge to protect Azeroth and ensure its future.
We await their return.
Before departing, 2 Keepers, Loken and Mimiron, crafted a final gift, a living record of the world, the discs of Norganon. These enchanted artifacts would record history as it unfolded, a chronicle of Azeroth itself, so that if the Titans ever returned, they would know what had transpired in their absence. And the Pantheon did not leave without a final safeguard. Aman'Thul appointed a celestial watcher, Algalon the Observer, a being tasked with a single purpose: to judge the fate of the world.
Commencing planetary analysis of Azeroth.
If Azeroth's world soul were ever corrupted, Algalon would act. He held the authority to trigger the Forge of Origination, a mechanism capable of wiping the world clean.
It is in the universe's best interest to re-originate this planet should my analysis find systemic corruption. Do not interfere.
Life erased so that it could begin again. It was not a decision made lightly, but the risk could not be ignored.
I do what I must.
And then the Pantheon bestowed one final gift: the Pillars of Creation, artifacts of immense power, entrusted to the Keepers to help maintain order across Azeroth. Each carried the essence of a Titan: the Aegis of Agrimor, the Tidestone of Golganeth, the Eye of Aman'Thul, the Hammer of Khaz'goroth, and the tears of Elune. In time, these relics would be scattered across the world, lost to history, waiting. And so the Pantheon departed, vanishing into the stars as they had done all they could. Azeroth would now walk its own path. All that remained was to wait and hope that one day the world soul would awaken. As for the Titans, artifacts of their power still linger on Azeroth. These relics would become items of great concern nearly 10 millennia later during an invasion of a certain burning legion.
This world will burn!
But that, my lore-seeking travelers, is a story for another day.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. This was Azeroth Morning Radio. We can't thank you enough for push and play, hanging out here with us today. If you enjoyed the show, let us know how we did, whether it's a review on a podcast app of choice or a comment on YouTube, whatever that looks like. All the likes and all the comments, it does help the show. We are subject to the algorithm raid boss, just like everybody else is. So thank you so much for your support there. And, we always ask, if you enjoyed the show, tell a friend. Tell your Discord server. That's how we grow, is through word of mouth. This hearth continues to get bigger every week. New people continue to listen every week, and we can't thank you enough for support. So please share us with your friends. And you can always visit our website at AzerothMorningRadio.com, where you can, you can learn more about the show, learn more about Cash and myself. And of course, you can always get in contact with us directly there at the contact page. Cash.
Friends, this show is made each week for you, the community member, and we want to make sure that we are accessible to you for questions and comments. So all you got to do is reach out. You can do so by emailing us at AzerothMorningRadio@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Facebook at Azeroth Morning Radio, where we post our shows and are getting a lot of interaction with our listeners, is on YouTube at Azeroth Morning Radio. We're on TikTok at Azeroth Morning Radio, and also you can find our Patreon at AzerothMorningRadio.com. Thank you to all the people who have recently joined us. We have a pretty steady flow of people coming into Patreon and joining our guild. At some point, that guild is going to have to be capped. So if you are really looking and interested in playing with us, then that is the way to do it. And we have a really cool community that is forming right now. So to everybody who's there, thank you for being there for us. And don't forget to send in your Heroes Call topics. I think as evidenced by the emails that we get and some pretty amazing things that are happening out there, we really do want to cover it. We're serious about it. So send us your topics for Heroes Call, and let's see some more amazing and wholesome things happening in the World of Warcraft community.
Friends, thank you so much for tuning in. We love you. Have a wonderful week in gaming. And we'll see you right back here in Azeroth next week on Azeroth Morning Radio. Take care, everybody.
Safe travels, adventurers.
Job's done.